Ghetto Free Press. I'm on the street of North Ashton Street. As you know, Kendrick Johnson, 17-year-old Lowndes County High School student, died while in custody or under the protection of Lowndes County High School, where Superintendent Wes Taylor is responsible for all the children. The father's right here. As you know, they've been protesting the death of their son. If you remember, January the 10th and 11th, the family was thrust into a period of pain and unanswered questions. The Kendrick Johnson family was not permitted to even view and identify their own son after he was found dead in the old gymnasium. Since that time, questions have been raised. Moreover, now people are asking, because the Johnson family asked for a second autopsy. They had the body of Kendrick exhumed, and they sent the body to pathologists in Orlando, I understand. And now people are asking, why is it taking so long for this autopsy results to get back? C.B. King is an attorney that I got great respect for, and I also have respect for the father in this regard. He's not afraid to stand up and say what needs to be said. And so, even if the autopsy would come back in favor of everything was done right, I still would stand with the Johnson family for having the courage to stand up in times like these, with all the deaths that have taken place here in Valdosta, Lowndes County, Quitman, Brooks County, and South Georgia in general. And so, I just want to go on record as saying, I'm not ashamed to stand up with the Johnson family, the mother and the father. And I really am not concerned about how the autopsy come back, because I'm going to stand with them anyway, based upon what I already know, that I'm not going to get into here, because you can find it on this channel. Now let me tell you what I heard this morning on 105.9 FM, a very conservative radio station. I heard this morning on the Chris Beckham show. He was talking about, why is it taking so long to get the results from the second autopsy? Permit me to say this, and I'm giving you this because I talk to the father from time to time. Oh, he don't want to be on camera that much. He can walk over here now and join me. But he believed in truth. He believed in justice. He believed in your First Amendment right. And so I'm going to be the voice right now. You can listen to me for right now. When the G.B.R. took 4 months and a half to get you the results from the first autopsy, did you question them? Did you put a time limit on them? They are no better and they are no less than the Johnson's family. Why demand more of them than you require and expected from the G.B.R.? Do you not know that the black man and woman today is just as educated, just as intelligent, just as loving when it comes down to their children as any other human being that God made? Now that's not about hate. Jesus said, if the Bible is correct, in St. John 8:32, that ye shall know the truth, and that the truth would set and make you free. So look, Did anybody tell you that the family have had trouble getting basic information from law enforcement and the sheriff department from day one? Do you not know that I walked with some of the investigators and they say they have never investigated any alleged homicide or crime where things have been hidden and kept or obstruction from them getting to the knowledge of the truth? I walked with the investigators. I went to some of the people who had a story to tell, but because of fear, they refused to tell their story. And so what do you want the Johnson family to do? Do you want them to do what the parents of the 15 to 25 blacks that was murdered over in Brooks and Lowndes County in May of 1918 and they haven't received any justice? Do you want the Johnson family to punk out like others who know their fathers, their sisters, their brothers, and children have been murdered outright? What about Earl Evans that was shot over in Brooks County? He was a police officer in a police car and burned up, and nothing was done to him. What about James Demps that was shot by a police officer in Quitman right behind Washington Funeral Home? I haven't finished yet. What about the Wootons and the Densons that was drowned in a pond in Brooks County and nothing had been done about it? What about the Bonner, Mr. Bonner, Reverend Bonner, got a listing of other blacks that nothing has been done? And so when Kendrick Johnson, father and mother said, we are tired, we ain't gonna take it no more. And then above all, because on YouTube, I got over 250,000 views on my channel alone. Over 2,500 videos. And so the Lowndes County Sheriff Prime gonna have his deputy to stop me at the Lowndes County graduation and issue me a bogus criminal trespass warning. I have been banned from Lowndes County High School for over 84 days. Can you imagine? 84 days. I am a retired military veteran. I served my country honorably. And let me correct something the other day. The other day I said I received one letter of reprimand in my 21 years. I made a mistake. I meant a letter of counseling. I've never violated any law, and I am not, nor have I ever been a criminal. And so why did Sheriff Prime on West Taylor attach criminal trespassing on a man such as my character? What are you trying to do? Did you know something about the Kendrick death that you thought somebody would talk to me? And unlike the Valdosta Daily Times, unlike ABC made it, unlike CBS made it, unlike other radio, television, and newspapers here in South Georgia, if I get it, I'm gonna report it because I served my country in foreign nations. They told me I was fighting in Vietnam for freedom, justice, democracy, and the American way. And so today, what it is that it seems as if though the Dred Scott decision, listen, the Dred Scott decision, ruling by the Supreme Court, said about the black man that no black man had any rights that a white man had to respect. I did not write that. I am only speaking what was written and is written in the history of this nation. Do you not know that just a few days ago, this tree right here, a limb fell down here, right where the family would have been Some people told me or asked me, was anybody hurt? Well, let me say this to you. You might not understand, but the God of our ancestors have always stood up, always walked with us against the odds when people thought we didn't have nobody on our side. We was walking up the mountain. They say, what's wrong with those people? We didn't have a right to vote. They talk about guns. Black man couldn't carry no gun. A black man couldn't even assemble in a group of more than 5. We didn't have no rights. No. Yet we fought in every war of this nation. The first man to die in the Revolutionary War was a black man by the name of Trespass. We was in Vietnam. We was in Germany. We was in Kuwait. You can't call a war wherein the black man wasn't one of the most patriotic citizens in this nation. And for me to be banned, I had nothing to do with the Johnson's son dying. Why should I be banned from the school? If I had a mother, a grandmother working at the school, and if she had a heart attack, I couldn't go see about her. But look, this tree perhaps gonna say and send the best message of all. Look at this tree. Now, I don't know whether you have ever heard the old saying that the oak tree represented the black man, the pine tree represents the white people. And they say if the oak tree could talk, this oak tree may be able to tell you that one day, as Billie Holiday said, Billie Holiday, you see, wrote that song. She sung that song about strange fruits on the poppy tree. This tree could tell you the story if blacks ever was lynched from these limbs. You know, down south, you know, they used to have lynchings. Most were done on the courthouse square. And they rejoiced at our death. And I'm gonna close this out by saying to you, I cannot wait for the autopsy report because there's a great possibility. What our ancestors here in Lowndes County have been crying out for so long, just maybe, little Kendrick can get some rest. And I do believe that in the end, truth, right, and justice will win. And so I want to close out by saying to you, we will receive justice. The games that you used to play with black folk, it just ain't gonna work no more. The reason it's not gonna work is because we are willing now to do what Jesus said. And Jesus said, heaven and earth would pass away, but truth will stand forever. That's all Mother Jacqueline have asked for. That's all the Father Kenneth Johnson have ever asked for. C.B. King, the attorney, we thank God for him. And we thank God for the G.B.R. and the sheriff and the FBI and the Justice Department. But we, the black man, woman, and children, have always looked, listen, we have always looked beyond those to a higher Supreme Court over everything. And in the end, we have fared pretty well. You see, Father, they put their feet on our backs. But what they didn't understand is that though they put pressure on the black man's back. The God of our ancestors allowed us to sprout out. You had us down, but yet we sprouted out until we got a right to vote. We sprouted out until we got where we could vote in elections. We sprouted out so we could go anywhere and eat anywhere in the restaurants. Oh yeah, we are the only people that come to America that had to fight just to use the bathroom. We had to fight just to get a right to vote. We had to fight just to get a right to stand and be on Andy Griffin's show. And we still wasn't on Andy Griffin's show. We fought to get a right to be a police officer, state patrol, or be a federal. In fact, we had to fight just to get a right to go fight in the wars of this nation. And so everything we've gotten, we had to fight. We had to fight all the way. We fought the white Christians. Do you not know that Lester Maddox, who used axe handles against us, but God, in his magnificent power, he allowed us to make Lester Maddox turn his axe handles into toothpicks. God, our God, made Governor Wallace turn his hate into love. God, through his magnificent power, made Bull Connor's dogs became little puppies. Do you not know that we made Jim Crow fly through the air, but he failed because the Jim Crow lost his wings and he failed. That is because we stood up on the principle of the God of our salvation. And now we have a new bird that's flying over Valdosta called the Johnson family. Yeah, the KJ family. That's the new bird on the scene. And you can say what you want about their wings, but you don't see the wings that I see. I see them with wings that are flying up over the history of this God-forsaken place. But in the end, David said, my own familiar friend who lifted up his heels against me. They ate with me, they supped with me, and they dined with me. So we gonna leave you now, but we gonna wait. And no, one more thing. One more. One more. I'm sorry, one more. I heard this morning on the Chris Beckham show about the NAACP. They criticized the NAACP and said the NAACP, well, no, they criticized it, but then they praised them because they are not going along with the Kendrick in believing that there was something that went array when it come down to their son's death. Well, I responded to them this morning, but let me say this to you. The NAACP should never be in the same basket of the KKK, but that's what they did on the Chris Beckham show this morning. They put the NAACP in the same basket of the KKK. Now, let me say this to you, Mr. Chris Beckham. I got high respect for you. And to the young man that called in, let me say this with you as I drop it because it's hot. The NAACP, first of all, was founded by whites, Jews, blacks, and others. Okay? That's number one. Number two, the best rewarder of all research is history. You don't have to say if the Klan is better than the NAACP or the NAACP is better than the Klan. You don't have to say nothing. All you should do is look back down the annals of history. You wrote the history. You don't see where the NAACP lynched no white folks. You don't see where the NAACP hid behind sheets. You don't see where the NAACP, I ain't gonna get into that. That's the craziness of men with a sick intellect can talk on the radio and make simple-minded people think that an elephant is a flea and that a flea is an elephant. But I'm here to say to you, don't even respond to those people. We are living in the last days of the reign of the wicked. And God is getting ready now to do his thing. And I'm gonna say to you that when God does his thing, you throwing down, but when God throw down, you gonna see it's like nothing went down. It's gonna be kind of like this tree. You know, I bet some of you probably wish that some people was under that tree when it fell. But I want you to know something about the black man and woman. We have come through everything. We have come through everything, and we come through. A few of us died, and a few more of us gonna die. But God is opening up the minds of our children to understand that though we suffer and though we die, by the blood of the Lamb, we shall overcome. And so I want to commend the Johnson family for standing strong.